Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the Bommer number 2200-633 3-inch screen door half surface spring hinge, steel base, okay, button tip they call this. So this is a screen door hinge. It's a little less common than many because it's half surface. And what that means specifically is that the leaf that attaches to the face of the door is a surface mounted leaf. By example, a hinge that would be half mortise, well, the leaf that attaches to the door would be mortised. So either surface or mortise, it's always referring to the door. So a half surface means that the leaf to the door is surface mounted. And that is indeed the case here. So what you're seeing here is if the door swung towards you, okay, and from your perspective viewing this video, if the door was considered a right-hand reverse or the door swung out and this way to you, my hand is the face of the door, okay? And then this leaf is what attaches to the frame, to the wood frame. Very typical sort of hinge that you see. Full surface are probably, well, maybe is common, I would have to say. Now the 633 is a reference to the color. It's a satin brass finish that you see on there. It also is a reference to the base material. This is made of steel, so keep that in mind. And it is indeed adjustable in the sense that you've got a tension rod and a tension pin that will ship with it. And there is a link below this video to the template, which will show everything important dimensionally about it. So I won't beleaguer all those points here, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. But the hinge is non-handed, okay? You can mount it this way, or you can turn it over and mount it this way. Doesn't really matter. It's going to include screws and a complementary finish. So now we've talked about the screws and everything else pretty much about this hinge. Now let's talk about setting the tension. So the Bommer 2200 series is going to be really easily installed by use of this tension pin and the tension rod. With the tension collar pointed up, which means it would be appropriate for installing it this way. If you needed to do it the other way, the tension collar would obviously be down. But in reference to the tension collar being up, or towards the top of the door, insert the rod and then rotate the tension collar clockwise. And as you do that, you reveal additional holes that you can see. And it's into one of those new holes that you would insert the tension pin. And that's how tension is kept on the spring. And you can crank it over, and pretty much Bommer recommends no more than 3 holes to be turned over. So if you're going to do it this way, you're going to need to rotate that counterclockwise because you've turned it over, is the bottom line. Now a hinge like this is going to be appropriate for typical screen doors, something that's going to be in your 20 to 30 pound range. Lighter, of course, works. If you feel that you've got something odd happening there in terms of the weight of the door or maybe the use, go to 3 hinges. Otherwise 2 is pretty typical. Although if you have more hinges, you can kind of share that weight more equally among more than one hinge, but at the same time, if it's a light duty door, 2 is probably going to be where you'll want to be with it. And it's a good quality product, available in several different finishes, if I've not already said that. And the last thing I'd like to point out to you is you can see the Bommer logo there, and right above it says Made in USA. The fact that Bommer is quite proud of, as am I, to be a distributor for them. If you have any questions on the Bommer 2200-633 half surface spring hinge and a satin brass finish, steel base, or any other Bommer product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you very much.